So this group called Spice DAO, which stands for Decentralized Anonymous Organization, they bought a book of concept art for a 1974 Dune movie that was never made or released. The movie it's actually an interesting little piece of history, little piece of film history. It was by this director who wanted to adapt Dune into what he envisioned as a 14-hour movie with a score written by Pink Floyd.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was made, but it didn't get the funding that it needed, so the whole thing was just kind of canned. So anyway, the guy that was the director, he made this book with a bunch of concept art and like story concepts and character details and everything. Basically like the plans for the movie. He made this book and tried to like, sell it to studios and stuff as, like part of his pitch. There's an estimated 10 to 20 copies of the book that exist in the world, and they usually sell for around $25,000 at auction. This particular copy was expected to sell for around $40,000. And the auction was going as normal until this crypto group swooped in and they bid $2.6 million for this book.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to guess, what would you say their plan is?
To make NFTs out of the art.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It goes further than that. So first of all, they wanted to convert the book into a collection of NFTs. And then their plan was to burn the book and record video of it, sell the video as an NFT, of course. And that's all normal, par for the course for these fucking maniacs. But then what they wanted to do, and this is in a tweet that was that's linked in the show notes, the plan is to I'll read you what the tweet says. This is from Spice DAO. We won the auction for $2.6 million. Our mission is to 1, make the book public to the extent permitted by law. 2, produce an original animated limited series inspired by the book and sell it to a streaming service. 3, support derivative projects from the community. Now, what stands out to you as a potential problem for this plan?
If there are NFTs out there, you can easily just copy that off of the publicly available information that they give out.
That's true. So the first point, the first thing that they said, make the book public to the extent permitted by law. There's actually 2 problems with that.
Oh, there's no laws regarding NFTs.
Well, no, the thing is, they bought a copy of this book. They do not own the intellectual property for the book. So they would not be allowed to make it public. That would be an infringement of copyright law. But that doesn't matter because the book has already been public for years. You could already view everything in it publicly.
Yeah.
Second point, produce an original animated series. They are legally not allowed to do that because, again, they don't own the intellectual property. They just own a copy of a book. Mm-hmm. And this was pointed out to them by everyone on Twitter. And since then, they were like, yeah, we realize we can't do it, but we've been having conversations in the industry. We've been talking to lawyers and stuff.
Talking to some lawyers.
And we're seeing what we can do. And
it's funny because they don't need to talk to a lawyer. They've gotten the answer already.
Yeah.
There's no need to talk to a lawyer. You could have just spent that money on the rights to use that information.
My thoughts exactly.
You could have
nearly $3 million. That could have gone to, that could have contributed towards actually buying the rights.
Intellectual property rights that you could have just then taken the books. Or like, I don't know, done the series first, then bought the books, then made it NFTs. This is what I hate about NFTs. It's a bunch of like fuckboy dude bros who are like, oh, we're going to buy this to make it NFTs. And they're like, you can't really do that because it's not your intellectual property. And they're like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Crypto culture
from South Park
has rotted so many people's brains because like they're now under the impression that if you quote unquote own something, then like you own the distribution and intellectual property rights to it. Like if you buy a Batman comic, you don't like you can't just make a Batman movie.
No,
but I bought the comic. I own it.
Alex, you Alex, you don't understand. They own the original first comic, meaning that they own the entire thing now.
Oh, that's right.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's how it works, Alex.
Yeah,
It's
it's
great.
just how much more obvious could it get that this is all a big scam? So, for a bit of clarification and a correction. So, first of all, they don't plan on burning the book, apparently. The article that I was reading as a source for this segment mentioned burning the book. I don't know where they got it from, honestly, on this Twitter thread that was released a few days after the original announcement. They said they don't plan on burning the book. They want to preserve it. So, good on them, I guess. Apparently, the already publicly available version of this book is like bad quality, which I think that's a failure on like archivers' end. Like, why can't we just have a decent archive of this without involving like crypto grifts? And according to this thread, they consulted lawyers after buying the book, which obviously you want to do it beforehand. It seems like they're trying to say now that they fully realized that they weren't buying the rights to Dune, which if that's the case, if they already knew, why buy this book for that much if it doesn't really play into your plans that much? Just seems like they're really just backpedaling now. Like, even this guy on TikTok is now playing defense for them, basically saying, oh, you're misinterpreting what they said. I mean, it's pretty clear their intention was to buy the book and then use that ownership to justify making stuff with this IP. I guess clarification is the wrong word, because this just raises more questions than have been answered, because I'm more confused now, honestly.
Oh man.
And this was crowdfunded. This was crowdfunding.
But imagine how much one guy could make if you just centralized it.
What do you mean?
Like, you just centralize it. You make your own rules through an official, like, conversion, Bitcoin, whatever. And you make your own rules to it. And if you want to participate, you have to follow these rules. And, like, I just don't see how NFTs could ever work. Ever.
Yeah, NFTs are just, it's, people like to say, like, oh, well, the US dollar is also fake because it's a fiat currency. And it's like, it's not backed by anything. It is backed by something. It is backed by international trade and just the US government and military.
And economy.
The US dollar has value because oil is traded in dollars and the US government taxes you in dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just decide, I don't think $1 is worth $1, and just get away with it. Like, you can't just pay less money in taxes because you think the dollar isn't worth as much.
It's funny, too, because they're like, oh, the dollar's just a fiat currency. And it's just like, well, as soon as I can buy a coffee with some cryptocurrency, let me know.
Yeah, Steam actually used to accept Bitcoin as payment, but they stopped doing that because, of course, they did. The value of Bitcoin was too volatile. That's why they stopped using it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, why would you accept something as payment if it could be worth $1 million one day, but then the next day be worth 10 cents?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. It's not a real currency. It is a speculative coin. It's an investment. Mm-hmm. It's a very speculative investment, founded on faith, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
here's what. If you want to make money, goofy. Here's what you do: you get a job, and with that job, you make money, and you put some of that money into a savings account, and then with that savings account, you invest in stocks.
Yeah,
that's it. That's what I would do. It's a safe route.
I mean. Yeah, like my one of my math teachers during high school taught us about how, you can use like investment like accounts and like whatever financing stuff to like set up passive income and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if only that loser knew you could just invest in Dogecoin.
Yeah, what a nerd.
What a fucking
Anyway,
idiot.
Do you have gas money that I could have? They don't take Dogecoin at my gas station.
Yeah, my $100 in Dogecoin just dropped to $3. So I needed to spot
a couple
some
bucks.
Money. I need you to spot me some real money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey man, can I have some gas money? Oh, sure, yeah. And then they just hand you a printed out picture of a monkey.